All right, this week we are putting the porch floor onto our foundation and then giving our foundation and our porch post bases their first coat of their color of paint. And this is not our final paint. We're gonna do something special over this. So stay tuned and see how this stuff all came together. All right, I've got you zoomed way back so that you can see this, the whole piece. This is our porch floor, and I think I'm actually going to turn it that way. Again, I've got the little water bottle caps down there. And I got this little mini paint roll. I'm going to try it out on this one. I got it mainly to do like the walls, where I'm going to have to do both sides and they're bigger pieces. I don't know if I've got enough paint in here for this, but I picked this up at Walmart. It's this. I'll try to remember to get a picture of this label. We'll see how it works. I just put just a tiny bit of primer in here. I don't know how much it's going to take. And I'm also going to have to go around the edges, which I think I'm going to reach over and get a brush. I am going to do the edges first because the edges will show on this. And I don't, since this is not a really thin, super thin plywood, I don't think we need to worry about it warping by only doing one side, like we would on the thin plywood houses that I usually build. So hopefully you guys can see. I'm going to go around. I'll actually turn the camera off and prime the entire perimeter edge here, because this will show once the house is assembled, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to get this, at least parts of it will. I'm going to get this all painted, all four sides, then I'll come back and we'll do the top. All right, I have all the edges are painted and I've wiped off all the drips on the bottom. I figure we'll get the drips on top when we roll it out. So let's get you a little closer, because that's really far up there. Let's see. Oh, I like how this works. I don't have it wet all the way around, unfortunately. I really have no concept how much paint, how much primer it's going to take to do this little piece. And I didn't want to put a lot of it in the tray and then have to dump it back. But I think this is going to be really good for the parts that I bought it for more, that which being the walls, because there's going to be a lot of walls and stuff to paint, to prime in the next step. Not sure if we're at this point, I don't know if we're going to get to that in today's video or if that'll be next week. So, oh, that goes on so much faster with this little roller. Definitely a good deal. All right, now, instead of washing my roller, I'm actually going to put this in a plastic bag and put it in my freezer. I do that a lot when I'm painting real size house stuff with a roller. So it should work with this one too. And then you don't, because there's a lot of paint stuck in the roller. When you use a roller, it sucks up a lot of paint. And if you wash that out, you're pouring a lot of paint down your drain. So I am going to go wrap this in plastic wrap and then stick it in a Ziploc freezer bag and put it in my freezer. And then about 20-30 minutes before I'm going to do priming again, I'll pull it out and let it thaw, still wrapped up. And it should be just fine. So let me turn the camera off, let me get all my stuff cleaned up, and when I bring you back, this will be all dry and we will assemble it with the porch, with the foundation. Oh, and off camera also, I'm going to go make sure that there are no drips on the underside. So I'll see you when this is dry. All right, the glue on this has dried, and I brought the foundation that we built the first week of construction here, and what we're going to do is we are going to glue this onto the foundation, and then we are going to tape the main floor onto the foundation also, just to keep everything straight, and then that needs to all dry. So I'm going to put my finger right there, because I want to apply glue to there. Got my glue open today, so get that there. Then Set this here. Hopefully you can see at least part of what I'm doing. I'm going to go around the edge. Hopefully I'll get a good layer of glue. There. And I'll need to clean that. I want to clean the nozzle of my glue as soon as I get done gluing this part together, because I don't want that to dry with the glue up in it. Now, we're going to, I'm using my fingers to make sure everything is even. I can feel that my edges are flush. And I forgot to get a wet towel. I am going to get some tape. I'm going to use that to just help it to stay put, because I don't want it to shift. I'm also going to set my can of paint and probably a couple of other cans in strategic locations. But first I want to get this taped on. So we're using this just to make sure that it stays, to help if I didn't leave my tape in there. We're taping this on just to make sure that our foundation stays square, and there will be a gap. Don't be concerned when you go to put this together and there's a gap. It's supposed to be there. It's fine. It's shown on the directions even that there is a small gap there. This doesn't have to be taped down really well, just enough to keep everything together. So I am going to set this on here. I'm going to go turn the camera off. I'm going to clean my glue bottle nozzle, and then I'm going to get a couple of cans of soup and set along here, probably 2 on each side, just to make sure that my glue stays in contact until it gets dry. So I'll be back when the glue is dry. Alright, so this has all sat for a couple of days. I took the tape off of this. We're going to take that floor off. Remember, that was just to make sure this stayed nice and square. Now, without moving the camera, I'm going to attempt to get this tape off. And remove the cat hair from the corner. And now we are actually going to kind of put a base coat of paint that is going to match the paint that's going to be used in the final technique I'm going to use. We're also going to base coat these 3 pillar post bases. We're not going to do the posts, we're not going to do the railing with this, but we're going to do these with the same color. So let me get that paint out and a brush and a tray, and we will get started. Alright, for paint I've got this bottle of Top Notch matte craft paint in the color gray, and I've got a butter tub. This is the store brand at Giant Fabrics, and it was like 70 cents I think was the retail price on it. So I'm going to dump the whole jar right in this, because if I don't use it, I've got a lid I can put on here. I have a feeling it's going to take about 2 bottles, and I have a feeling I'm going to have to go back and get another couple of bottles to do our technique. But for right now, I'm just going to base coat. I'm going to paint just the outside surfaces, the porch floor, the sides of the foundation, the outside edges of the foundation, not the top or anything but the sides, and get this all painted. So I'm going to get this a good coat of gray paint, and when that's all done and dry, I will come back and we will take a look. Alright, I have a good base coat of gray paint. I may put another coat on off camera simply because it didn't cover completely, and I'd like a good solid coat of gray paint underneath the final finish we're going to do. I'll probably dig out the step and also prep it too. I forgot to do that. These are also probably going to need a second coat. So this is all we're going to do this week. Next week we'll start assembling the body of the house, which looks like a lot of fun. So I hope that you enjoyed this and found it informative. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.